Now on to question 3. Should we be concerned about surveillance or relieved that it exists? Well, that's an interesting question, because something I've written about extensively in the past is the way in which we are ambivalent about surveillance, that we simultaneously recognize that in some circumstances it can protect us, but in other circumstances it is quite coercive and obviously wrapped up in questions of power and domination. Other people are determining the kind of person we are and how good we are, if you like. As I mentioned earlier, that clearly has consequences for us as citizens, as employees, that kind of thing. So I think that what's really interesting about this question is the circumstances under which we accept surveillance and recognize that its protective qualities outweigh its coercive aspects, and under what circumstances we, in a sense, say, well, that's a step too far, that's too coercive, and if you like, the benefits just simply don't outweigh the costs. And of course, we are living through a time where we have experienced great social disruption and upheaval. I'm talking about, of course, the COVID pandemic, which started back in 2020. And as a result of that, we have been willing to trade off what you might call freedoms, and we have been willing to tolerate levels of surveillance that we wouldn't perhaps accept in normal times. Of course, the question comes, well, what happens when we do go back to some kind of degree of normalcy? Do those aspects of surveillance disappear? Are they loosened? Are they relaxed in some way? And of course, what we find is that that rarely happens historically. Once a powerful person has increased their power, they're unlikely to give it up. So the thing that concerns me is that at the moment, what we are living through is a time where we have been willing to trade off certain aspects of our freedoms for closer scrutiny, greater surveillance. But in the future, we may not be able to wind those back.